they weren't on class again. Now at the University of Colorado, yeah, that thing. And there's lots of students here, so we've been walking around to different offices, talking to some students and stuff like that. So, any other challenges?
Look, the big challenge, and this was something that actually it's been really handy having an American in the crew that we're sort of grappling with is actually around, and I'm not sure if other crews are experiencing this. Students have now timetables they didn't have last year, so they can see what that week looks like for them, and they can see, whether that's going to be a real conflict. And so we're sort of trying to talk through difficult conversations with people that are actually really keen to come, but are saying that week in particular might be difficult because of this exam or because this is a class that is compulsory and I can't miss it because of X, Y, and Z. So there's sort of this extra barrier to get through, which you were sort of talking to, and we've actually seen that happening today. So something to watch. I mean, if other teams are dealing with that, I'd be interested to know how they're navigating those conversations.
Yeah, I'd say to them, like, yeah, cool. No one will ever remember that week of your life when you were in university from February 19 through to February 25. You won't remember it in a year, let alone in 20 years' time. You're telling me you're going to give up a chartered jet and your chance to be the next Obama because you're worried about timetabling? You can't fix that. See you later. Just got to walk away. Anyone that's given you like minute things, you need to break their brain open with perspective instantly and then leave, or like threaten to leave and leave the table. That intensity is like it is providing the best filter at the other end, because the people that are getting through are so ready to do this thing. Anyone that's asking stupid logistical questions, it needs a shock. Like they need, like the kids, like the apathetic kids that we work with back home. Sometimes we're sitting there wallowing in their own despair. But fuck, kid, in 4 years' time, you'll be going to prison if you don't pull your head in. Like, yeah, just step up and work, or you don't. So how we break that same instant change with people and change the dialogue and the tonality of it really quickly by being uber direct and just going like unapologetic, that unapologetic nature. So I'd be like, all right, cool. If you can't work out how to move an exam, you're not going to move a nation. We're going to go find someone else.
Okay. Yep.
Cool. I think on a positive note, proud of Cherise coming in after 10 hours of delays yesterday and being a huge source of positivity for our team. Like we said, we're kind of running into some scheduling issues, but hasn't put Cherise down, and proud of her for that. I think that's it.
I'm just proud of the team. We just pushed through today, I guess. We've been hit with some setbacks throughout the day, but we're all right. We're pushing through. We're about to head to the education building and hopefully walk into a classroom and do a pitch at a lecture theatre.
We're going to bust in. We're going to break down barriers.
Breaking down the doors.
We're doing it. Yeah.
Good stuff. Good to hear. Jace?
Oh, and I seen smoke for the first time. Sorry.
No, go.
Like, it's really exciting.
That is good.
Jace, over to you, mate.
Over to me, man. Yeah, we've got a lot of snow up in Montana here. So driving was a bit hectic. We did about a 3-hour drive early this morning, to come and see two candidates from here who are going to apply as a little co-setup. And it's actually a bit of a win, because the guy who was going to do it on his own basically withdrew the day we landed here. And we've managed to get him back to if I get this help from this other girl, Zoe, then I'm in. So we're going to catch up with them as soon as this one finishes. And this is in Bozeman, and we've put together a bit more of a plan that we think we want to fly now to Minneapolis and not waste time on the road, because it's between here and Minneapolis. Yeah, there's small colleges and things, but there's nothing really of substance, and it's probably going to total about 12 hours of driving. So we think we just want to be able to fly there tomorrow and be set up where we've got some stronger leads in a bigger city with more people and all that. So on the flip side, we've been sort of, I suppose, let down a little bit. We've had two basically today when we ring them to check in. pull out, essentially. Like, we're not going to take no as that first answer and see what we can do there. So that's sort of, you think you're on the right track, and then it's just quite easy for them to send a text through and go, oh, sorry, I'm out. So then you've got to sort of build it back up. But we're going to keep doing that and see what comes out of it.
There's no question that's a kick in the guts, right? Like, Matt, we're all human, and when you care about things, you're just like, oh man, like it always, the moment of rejection hurts, and then how quickly we pivot out of it. Like, we had one hooded scholar say, sorry, my dream was to be in a sorority my whole life, and I got selected to be in a sorority, and our induction is in that same week. And like, cool, they're all self-selection moments. So all we're doing is offering choices and pathways, and but yeah, it's annoying when that happens. So I definitely appreciate that. Jason's cool to have, those couple of people coming through, and what I'm looking at is this at the moment. So I'll show you my week. So that's all the mentors and hooded scholars that I've interviewed this week, and so you'll see that the festival mentors are really loading up, and a lot of these cats are proper ballers in their own right. And so we're coming in mainly as most of us are Australian, and coming into a foreign country and trying to then build relationships really quickly. So just to know that the intent and the randomness of what we're doing is so much that's up for chance. So if you leave a place with one really strong connection with someone, that's plenty, and that's going to that'll continue to, I suppose, ripple the effect, consistently moving on. Brendo, Will, Drew, what's happening? Can't hear you, Brendo. Why don't we try your audio, Drew?
Are you got me?
Yep.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, we on the back of traveling through to UNT. It was UNT, yeah? Brenda? Cool. Make sure that she's on board and really in a moment. Once again, just really positive vibes from her. Really keen, and just in the back of last night, spend a solid hour with her. I think it was really positive to end that relation there. Can you guys hear us?
Breaking up a fair bit.
Yeah, the internet's really shit here.
I've got you now. If you
okay.
Stay where
a quick wrap up from our end. Just shove your hand in the screen if you can't hear us, Sam. We can only see you, mate. So everything's going really, really well here. We've got hooded scholars coming through. It is a numbers game. It's 30 rejections to every applicant. And I've just sent across a pretty comprehensive list of 5 things we can offer someone who's on the fence. So I encourage all the teams to look at that email I sent through to Shawls and Ella, I think, too. There's applicants coming through. There's another 8 to sign up in the next couple of days and apply. It's just, fierce kind of numbers game. Rejection, then a win. The strategy is working well in that we're asking people to basically nominate someone around them that wants to change the world, and that's been solid drive in their life. So then we just go and hustle that. So it's happening, guys. Jack, amazing leadership, mate. I'm super inspired, and let's keep going.
Yeah, I'm looking at I'm looking at next week, the week that sort of breaks it open. So I just say keep enjoying yourself in the intensity of it to maintain the energy. Keep enjoying a wholesome element of what you're doing whilst maintaining that frenetic energy to chase the outcomes. And it's a consistent bet. I know what I'm going to get from you guys. Like, I know that we'll get X number of applicants by the end of the 2 weeks. So, Jace, anything that you want to do, or anything that the guys and the rest of you want to do in terms of logistics, all good. Like, this is our last play, so have to fly it. Don't muck around and just be really decisive. Back yourselves. If it doesn't feel right, it isn't right. So back those instincts really quick and move to the other locations, and we'll fill up the rest of my calendar with these interviews for the next 4 weeks. All right. Anything anyone else want to add? Have a wonderful weekend, and let's pump it. Next 72 hours. I just said to the festival mentor, 72 hours. Like, this is the one. If we tip it over in the next 3 days, we might end up potentially like we'll be in a very, very good place. So I just say those hooded scholars, anyone that's on the fence with their applications, you get them in Monday, Tuesday next week. And Christian Mann's example, he got it done in 5 hours. It's doable. Like there's precedence in terms of someone just nailing it and getting those letters and getting it done straight away. Skip the protocol, skip the process, get the people that are going to believe in the right person, and we'll break the rules that we need to open this thing up. And I respect all of you, and I hope you have a wonderful weekend. Okay, bye.
Jace, do you want to stick on here and we'll just work out the flight plan?
Yeah.
Drew, can you still hear me? Drew, you still there? Oh,
Hey, everybody. Yeah, still here.
Drew, I've got a new contact for you just outside of Shreveport, who's
awesome.
super keen and hustling. So I'll send that through to you so you can catch up with them in the next couple of days. I'll get it in your calendar.
Yeah, awesome. Cool. I was gonna actually. I was contemplating the struggle with Shreveport